Back when I was like obsessed with dating and relationships, I want to give you guys some insight into my thought process whenever I would feel a guy start to pull away from me and I knew that ghosting was imminent and I was so desperately trying to stop it from happening. So you go from talking to this person every single day, getting back quick, detailed responses, and now you're noticing that their response time is getting longer and longer, and the messages are getting shorter and shorter. Either they will tell you that they have a lot going on, or you will make up this narrative in your mind for them. And then I'll start to be like, you know what, sometimes I'm busy. It's normal for people to be busy. I mean, sometimes my friends are busy too, and we don't always talk every day. Or if he told me he was busy and had a lot going on, I would just simply believe it and just go with it and then proceed to make those same excuses in my head about, everybody's busy. That's so true. And then I would get to the point where days would go by and I wouldn't hear anything back from this person. And I would do this thing where I would go, you know what? I'm an independent woman. I don't have to wait for a man to reach out to me. I'm an adult. If I want to talk to somebody, I'll reach out to them. And I was just really trying to find an excuse to reach out to this person who so obviously doesn't want to have anything to do with me anymore. And then I would proceed to reach out to them, and my call would go unanswered, and I would get no response to my text, or I would get a really short response. And either one of those type of responses or lack thereof would further hurt my feelings, and I would feel worse than I did if I had just left it alone. And then the next phase was the Notes app copy paste paragraph text, where I am laying down a boundary when in actuality I am hoping that they give me the response that I'm wanting and apologize and come to their senses and treat me the way I want to be treated. Y'all know the paragraph, whether it's short or extremely long. You know what? I don't appreciate this lack of communication. Or where you're asking, hey, what's happened? I thought you and I clicked. I thought you and I were getting along. Then they would proceed with you know what, I got a lot going on. Which, again, did not make me feel any better, and I felt worse than I did if I would have just left it the fuck alone. Or if it's the copy-paste speech about, I don't deserve to be treated like this. I deserve communication, and blah, 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 blah. And I lie to myself and I say, I'm setting a boundary. I'm letting them know what my boundaries are. When again, I'm just wanting them to validate me and apologize and become Prince Charming. And then when they don't respond to that or type K or some other one word shitty response, again, my feelings would be hurt worse than if I would have just left it the fuck alone and blocked them. Then after I cry and vent to all my friends over a guy that I had known for all of 10 seconds, I would give this eloquent speech to them about how, you know what, I don't deserve to be treated like that. You know what, I'm gonna block him. I'm just not gonna put up with somebody treating me like that. And then they would cheer me on, and then I would go home and frantically stare at my phone hoping he'd text me back. And then if he hadn't blocked me on social media and move on, I would proceed to make posts looking my absolute best, showing him I'm living the party life without him to try to make him jealous, even though he doesn't give a fuck. And FYI, they know when we're doing that, and it just further feeds their ego. And if by chance they do get jealous and say something, it's because you are their property and they don't want any other man owning their property and their access to free cat. And then if the guy is ever bored or all his other options don't respond to him and they fall through and he finally texts me, what's up? WYA, where you at? Or WYD, what you doing? I mean, what a Hallmark greeting card moment right there, right? But when he got bored and needed somebody to entertain him or needed somebody to sleep with or, just somebody to boost his ego. And he reached out to me saying one of those three beautiful short words. I would reach out to my friends and screenshot the message, or share with them what the guy had said and be like, see, they always come back. Even though that's not a flex, and they're just coming around to see if they can use you or finish you off and leave you worse off than you were before. And after life kicked my ass enough, I had finally learned that if a guy ghosted me, just let him. And that's it. I accepted the fact that I don't like anybody who's nonchalant anyway. I need to be communicated with, and I need to be validated. And I only want men who will do that. And that is okay, because as humans, I mean, we crave interaction with people, and it need not be one-sided. And the moment I was honest with myself and honored myself, I was able to eliminate a lot of the riffraff that I was putting myself through. And I'm not going to sit here and lie. I'm going to be honest. If you have a date with a guy and it seems cool, even though you really can't judge somebody off of a first date, everybody's great the first time you meet them, for the most part. I mean, you're going to meet some losers, I know, exception to the rule, people, but for the most part, everybody is great when you first meet them. But I do understand the frustration if you meet somebody and it seems like there could be something there, and then you realize, no, there's not. That would very well hurt your feelings, possibly, if you care about that sort of thing. Nobody's perfect. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I'm not saying that I'm 100% healed and I'm some kind of alien superhero. Please don't get that from what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, in retrospect, if I knew what I know now, and what I do now, the moment that I feel like you're pulling away, I'm going to let you pull until you completely disappear out of my life. I'm not begging. I'm not reaching out to you. I'm not sending a paragraph. I'm not asking you what happened. If I just met you and it's been an unreasonably short amount of time, why the hell am I imagining a future with you? That's insane. I get that your grandparents met and a week later they ran off and got married. But if you look at the statistics of marriage and the fact that there are people who have unhealthy ways of coping with loneliness, like jumping off and marrying some random fucking stranger, I mean, yeah, it's best to just actually take your time and vet people. But yeah, putting up those boundaries of just protecting myself and my mind. Because when we beg somebody to talk to us and we want to know why, and we make excuses for them, and we're reaching out to them to hopefully jumpstart communication again, and we are imagining a life with them, and 2.5 kids and a cat and a dog and a white picket fence, and you met him like 2 weeks ago, I think we need to chill.